Hi there. My name is Scott Marker. I'm the franchise owner of Network in Action. It's a franchise out of Houston, Texas. I was the first one here in the Valley. I was number 27. Now there's 106 of us, and we're in two different countries, so it's great. I lead once a month professional networking groups, and they're comprised of local high caliber business owners and decision makers here in the Valley, and I get to meet a lot of great people, and I get to bring them on my podcast. So today I have Erica. Introduce yourself, Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica Erdozain. I'm a Senior Vice President and Business Banker at Columbia Bank.
Awesome. So you do, and I've known you for a little while, and so it's like I know a little bit what you do, but for the viewers and also for me, because it's like as a commercial business lender, right? So what do you all offer?
Yeah, we offer a wide variety of products and services to businesses, and we really uncover the needs of each individual business owner and then customize a set of products and solutions to best fit their needs. So everything from lending to a trust department, CB Financial, treasury management, really a wide range of products and services.
Oh, so you help me out a little bit more. It's like, so I own a business. It's a local, there's a lot of construction going on here. It's a local construction company, right? We're booming and stuff like that. And I don't like who I'm using right now. Right? So what could you all offer me?
Yeah, so in that situation where you're a construction company, of course, we have checking and savings and money market and treasury management solutions. But the other thing with construction and the amount of growth that we're seeing is really diving into your working capital, understanding your working capital and your cash flow cycle and what that looks like for you. A lot of contractors also have equipment. So we look at your equipment financing, and then we take a deeper dive into both your personal and business and determine, where you're at in your business cycle and what other products or services that we have that may benefit you.
Okay. So that is kind of like a full, you're not just the banker that can deposit my money, but you're looking at the whole thing. Because again, it's running a business. You got to look at that whole thing for when it comes to, I want to buy a piece of new equipment, right? Can I afford it? Or should I afford it? Is that things that you kind of help people with?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, recently I was able to help a landscape company. They have $1 million in equipment, and just looking at the equipment that they had and how it was financed, we were able to refinance that equipment and save them $50,000 a month.
Wow.
I mean, a year. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. I was saying that one. Now, how new a relationship was that on that lady that for you?
Yeah, it was a new relationship to me.
So so that made you look pretty good.
Yeah, just helping people and always wanting to do what's right for them. And so where I see opportunities, it's important to make sure that the business owners are getting their best bang for their buck. And they're so busy running their businesses that oftentimes they don't have the time to spend on this. And we really make it easy and assist them through that process.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, because I'm telling you that there's a lot of professions, bankers, accountants, that if they don't take a proactive point of view, that's a perfect situation right now. Is if somebody just waits around until you want another loan or something, right? They would have missed the 50 grand.
Right.
Right. Opportunity like that. So tell me, what type of companies you work for? What are the best fits for you in the bank when it comes to types of businesses?
Yeah. So anything from real estate investors. There's a current set of deals that I'm working on where I'm repricing his entire real estate portfolio, and it's comprised of single family residences. And with the rising rate environment, we're able to save him a significant amount of money too. And then we're really generalists. So we like pretty much all type of businesses, with the exception of, ones that are environmentally sensitive or certainly illegal businesses, but we're generalists. I love subcontractors, plumbers, roofers, electricians. I've had a lot of success helping landscape companies recently. There's a company, a sewage treatment company that I'm currently working with. Fish brokers. Just that's the part of my job that I really love, because you really get that creative outlet and you get to see so many different types of businesses. Here in the Valley, there's a horse boarding facility that we're looking at helping somebody purchase. I recently closed on a real estate transaction. The guy is in his early 30s, still lives at home, but he bought his first commercial piece of property. So just lots of exciting things and really a wide variety of businesses.
Wow. Which that gives you a lot of experience in working with different situations. And I'm sure that sometimes a landscaper, you'll help them out in some area. And yes, it's different if then you go to some other type of contractor, right? But I'm sure there's similarities that you see patterns with business owners get busy and not paying attention to that's your specialty.
Exactly.
the money and all their assets, and what's the best way to organize those. And again, years ago, I had a friend that he said he hired some fractional CFO type guy and stuff for his company before he sold it. And he said it was funny that he told them, no, you can't afford that truck.
Right.
Because he's just going to put it on, I don't know, like credit card, but just going to further debt, and just because he wanted a fancier truck.
Yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should always.
Right. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, but one thing that we're seeing that a lot of companies are doing is taking advantage of depreciation. So sometimes it does make sense for companies to go ahead and buy that truck so that they can fully depreciate that asset. And then ultimately it helps with their income tax. But it's also really important that, the attorney and the CPA and the banker are all on the same page, right? Because depending on where that company is in their cycle, we want to make sure that they're still showing enough profitability to be able to support their growth. And that growth can be funded through retained earnings in their company as well as debt.
Now, see, I love that. I love that approach that you talked about, because that is so important, because exactly what you talked about is that a lot of businesses out there buy a bunch of stuff and then write it all off, and then it gets to the end of the year and they want to buy some other big piece of equipment or an asset or something to help them out, and they can't, because they can't show that they didn't make very much money the year before because they wrote everything off. And that's always great working to kind of balance that, because you don't want to write too much off. Anyway, that's why it's like you recommended. It's good to talk to their accountant and also their attorney, because then you're all on the same page and you're not going to miss something. So here's something that we hear about, and I don't know how it affects your side, but I know it's the interest rates going up, right? Everybody's running around in circles right now. So I don't have a clue when it comes to the commercial side of things, So how's that impacting what you do and your customers and prospects?
Yeah, so certainly earlier this month in March, we saw our first interest rate hike in some time, and we are feeling that inflationary pressure. Commercial lending is very different than residential lending. Our rates don't change every day. So we strategically price. And so everything that I do is relationship price. So yes, we have a rate sheet and rates are listed on there, and the latest rates do reflect that interest rate increase. However, Columbia Bank is one of the strongest banks in the nation in terms of the liquidity they have. So when you have $2 to $3 billion sitting around in excess capital to lend, you're going to be aggressive with your pricing. And so even though rates have gone up, now is still a great time to be reevaluating portfolios, equipment financing, real estate, all of that. And we can still get you a very competitive, low rate in the scope of things, and make sure that you're adequately protected. The gentleman that I'm refinancing his entire investment portfolio, he had some floating rates in there. He had some hard money at 8% because it was
Oh,
easy to get. And we were
yeah.
able to refinance his entire portfolio at 3.75 fixed for 10 years.
Wow.
So just
Wow.
really, protecting business owners
Yeah.
and investors so that they can
Yeah.
sleep at night, and
Yeah.
they're not going to be negatively impacted by, the short-term interest rate increases that we're seeing. So I would definitely encourage people. I feel like there's a lot of chatter and not enough action around people really putting their feet to the fire, making those applications, getting those loans repriced to adequately protect themselves. So I'd love to help anybody who wants to have those conversations.
Well, that'd be great because it makes it sound like what you're doing is you go in, I won't say the word, but not audit, but you go in and kind of look at everything for them and just kind of like see where they're at and see if maybe you can help them. But they're just like you mentioned that one kind of the 8% one, that's a red flag right there. That if they can qualify, that you'd want to get that switched over to a different interest rate besides that,
Right.
and then also maybe consolidate it down like that, make it easier to have one debt, one interest rate, one debt to kind of look at versus having all these things scattered all over, some high, some low. So is that, like you were saying, that's kind of what you do, is come in like that landscaping company and just kind of look at the whole picture? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the other really cool thing about what I do and just where my passion lies is I'm always going to offer the right solution, even if the bank isn't the right solution. We just want to make sure that people are cared for, and out of, doing what's right and caring for people, we get some business. And that's just a result of always doing what's right. But that's really important to my values, and my love for working at Columbia Bank is because those values are aligned.
Right.
So
yeah, I love that, because sometimes, like I said, you're going to come in and there's nothing you can do right now for them, but I think by doing that you earn their trust, because then down the way, if they start looking at something, they're going to circle back to you, because you're not telling them they have to switch over to you, or you need to do something, that you're just saying, hey, you're in a good spot right now, right? But down the road, if something changed, you'd love to help them, versus trying to convince them to do something they shouldn't do.
Yeah, the other thing that we saw really during COVID is a lot of bankers kind of retracting and not, maybe returning phone calls as frequently, or not being as accessible. And I'm very accessible. Last night I was talking to a client at 7:00 last night. And so I just always offer to people that I'm that 24/7 banker that's there to take care of you. I return phone calls, I return emails, and just want to make sure that, again, you're in the best position for you personally as well as your business.
Yeah, return of phone calls is simple as that sounds. I to my group, I know accountants, attorneys, lenders, and what do they all say? Where do some of their clients come from? Somebody had a long time relationship with one of those I just mentioned, and they can't get them to return their phone calls.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes, they want to jump on something fast, what the heck, you call them and they won't call you back. So no, that might seem like a simple thing, but nowadays, especially in the Treasure Valley, how busy stuff is, I'm telling you, that's huge, because people, especially once people decide on doing something, they want to know about it right now and get started with it. So
right.
So that's great. So that's one of the things you're different. So if I was going to ask you to end here, say that, so why would somebody want to work with you versus another banker? And you've already listed off a few things.
Yeah, it's all the things that we described, right? It's providing that additional value. We're more than just a commodity. We're here to take care of the business, to customize solutions to best fit their needs. And really, it's just my personal passion. I get to know my business owners. And then over time, it's easy to do business because I already have an understanding of your business. and I'm looking out for your best interest. And we're communicating such that I know where your growth plan is and the value that I can add. And we're having conversations with that. So while we might not always be the absolute lowest cost provider, the value that you'll get over time by working with us just makes such a huge difference.
Right. Well, perfect. Well, thank you very much for coming on today. Appreciate it. And if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the simplest way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is to call me. And my number is 208-579-9987.
Perfect. And I'll put them in the show notes too, so if someone didn't catch that. But no, hey, I really, really appreciate Erica. And I learned, I know you and talked to you, and I learned some more stuff about it too. Like the interest rates is a big thing for me, is I didn't have a clue that they're not up and down crazy like they are. So right now it's still a great time to come see you. So,
Definitely.
hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.